friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
Doc.
So, here you are. Justin Ao, acting director.
Uh-huh.
I'll be upfront with you. Despite your relation to Father, I'm sure you understand.
Uh-huh. No problems here.
Good to Now, our primary
I'm sure it's best for everyone if the synths...
certain the
Sure.
results could be
Mhm.
Our main instrument,
Right.
of course, sirs. They are. What I gather. In
Uh-huh.
fact,
Uh-huh. I'm no stranger to combat.
even I suppose I'll now, unless
I'd like to know more about the synth reclamation.
fun. Once we then in those all too.
It's an honor to meet you, sir.
Unknown identity. Clearance confirmed.
Pardon me. Excuse me, I've got reports.
Not yet. I've been reviewing files.
Hey, Doc.
Wonder how the Warwick
Welcome.
family is
So
doing.
good to have you here.
Young Wally
Dr.
must be
Clayton
close to
Holden.
10 years old by
I-
now.
I look forward to learning more about it.
In that case,
Uh-huh.
as
Uh-huh.
our move to that end, you probably saw the
Seems like there's nothing you guys can't do.
with hard work. I'm sure
I'm not sure how well I'll fit in, but
great in it.
you mentioned medical care. I might need that from time to time. So we were just shooting in the dark?
It was the best we could come up. I'm sure after in the good luck.
received word that Dr. Lee is returning to us. How cooperative do you think she'll be?
I've convinced her that the Institute is the enemy, not the Brotherhood.
Well done, Knight. As soon as Dr. Lee arrives, we'll interrogate her aboard the Prydwen. She's been under the Institute's influence for the last decade, and we can't afford to take any chances. Now, on to other matters. Thanks to the success of your reconnaissance efforts, it's time to advance our operations to the next phase. I want you to report to Proctor Ingram at the airport. She has a special project that requires your immediate attention. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress. Dismissed.
Max might appear compassionate, but I can assure you the Institute places the last person that disobeyed Captain Charlie? Straight from Russell.
So, I bet you're eager to get your hands dirty on our new project. How much has Maxon told you about it?
Whatever it is, I'm sure it'll help us crush the Institute.
It will, but we've got a lot of work ahead of us first. Come on, it's this way. Unless you're blind as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed that we've been building a gantry on the tarmac. Maxon and Kells have been looking for something that'll tip the balance when we go toe-to-toe with the Institute. Now, the Prydwen might be a big beast, but she's not built for fighting. That's where our new project comes in. This storage bay full of parts is what's left of Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the Capital Wasteland as a weapon against the Enclave. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever had at its disposal. Unfortunately, Liberty Prime was destroyed in the line of duty. I've spent the better part of the last few years piecing him back together. And if you think that was easy, try rebuilding a Protectron while you're blindfolded. In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
No problem. I'm sure this only looks worse than it actually
Is not going to be easy.
Sure.
Now, the bad news is that
Right. There's gotta be a way to solve that.
I do all the maintenance. As luckily, you were able to convince Dr. Madison Lee to return to the Brotherhood. She was on the original build team for Liberty Prime a little over a decade ago. I've already spoken to her, but she's reluctant to work on Prime for some reason. If you could get her down here to lend a hand with his power system...
Attention. Tomorrow's tactical briefing has been postponed. A new time and date will be forthcoming.
Excuse me, Paladin Dance?
Ready to continue our mission, soldier?
Ready.
Roger that.
Uh-huh.
If you're here to talk me into working on Liberty Prime, you can forget it.
You promised you'd help us.
You're right, I did. But you neglected to mention that I'd be asked to work on Liberty Prime. I've been down this road with the Brotherhood before. Why would I make the same mistake twice?
Because Because we care what happens to the Commonwealth.
And we want to stop the Institute from using its technological superiority as a weapon.
You know, if anyone else wearing a Brotherhood of Steel uniform said something like that, I'd laugh in their face. But coming from you, it sounds like you actually mean it. Tell Proctor Ingram to get her scribes ready. It's going to take a hell of a lot of work to get Liberty.
Murals. Radiation is a twisted piece of human.
Proctor Ingram?
Well, things are off to a good start. Isn't that right, Doctor?
I hope so. Prime suffered some significant damage to his memory core. I wish your people would have been a bit more careful, Proctor. The good news is that the damage isn't irreversible, and I should be able to get the power flowing into his CPU core without overloading. If your people stay out of my way, that is.
Charming, isn't she?
Sorry about that, Ingram.
Don't worry about it. We might be butting heads on a few issues, but I've dealt with worse. Besides, Dr. Lee's work on Prime's original design. In fact, since things are going so well, we're gonna have you start building his electromagnet.
Sure. Anything?
That's what I love about you. You're ready to leap in.
Right.
The actuators are what allow. Prime's new lens are way too. We're gonna have to rip those out. What we need you to do is build.
Now that you know what the actuate, these are the plans and the
Now, before you get that look on your face,
Sure.
the only thing we need you to head out and find is a high-powered mag. According to Proctor, we've already sent out a.
Once you start building, good luck.
It's a shame these people have to live in fear. Sheltering in this old stadium when all those perfectly good buildings are still standing outside. Facilities like this were